Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. हरे कृष्णा प्रभु, सबको दंडवत प्रणाम।
Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranams.
So we start, huh? Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Nashtaprayesho Bhadresho Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shlokir Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namo. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, for continue our Bhakti Vedanta study of 10th canto of Srimad Bhagvatam.
Recording in
We are in this section, verse 15 to 24. Devaki bears Krishna in her actually mind and then transferred to the womb. So the verse number 17 we have to start today. And what we have already done yesterday is this is very important verse which we have discussed yesterday. Very themic verse. Bhagavan api Vishwatma Bhaktanam Abhayankara. Bhaktanam means to the devotees. Abhayankara means one who makes fearless. And Bhagavan api means, though he is Bhagavan, he is also Vishwatma, means he is only to be loved. The person to be loved. Because he always, he in his expansion as super soul accompanies everybody. And Avesh means entered, and Ansabhagena, which means along with all his expansions, energies, 6 opulences, which means Bhagena. Mana means in the mind, Anankadumduvi means Vasudeva. So Vasudeva is a state. Here Vasudeva is a person. And in philosophy, Vasudeva is a state. That state which is beyond three modes of material nature is called Vasudeva. And that is Shuddha Sattva. And that is the state in which Supreme Lord manifests, though he is already in everybody's heart. But when one reaches to the stage of Shuddha Sattva, pure goodness, then Supreme Lord manifests. So in the heart of Vasudeva, Supreme Lord manifested. And the other meanings of Ansa we have discussed yesterday is that since Vasudeva and Devaki, they have majesty of the Lord, awe and reverence, therefore he appeared as Ansa Bhagena, not in a full-fledged, Vatsalya Prem, but with Nanda and Yashoda he appeared full, because they have Madhurya Vatsalya. And the Devaki and Vasudeva has a Aishwarya Vatsalya with majesty. And their prem of Nanda and Yashoda was beyond Yogamaya and Mahamaya. Though Mahamaya never touched them, even Yogamaya, beyond Yogamaya, it is their pure love. So these are the different meanings that we have discussed. Now what happened next? When Supreme Lord manifested within the mind of Vasudeva with all his opulences and his expansions and his energies, then sabibhrada parusham dhama brajamano yatha ravihi. Brajamano means shining and Ravi means like sun. And at that time Vasudeva became the abode of Supreme Lord, and he was shining like sun. And therefore durasado ati durdarsho, it means ordinary people cannot look at Vasudeva. It was beyond approach. He was not approachable. He was shining. Bhutanam sambhabavaha. So all living entities sambhabavaha. So he became positively, definitely. So while carrying the form of Supreme Personality of Godhead within the core of his heart, Vasudeva bore the Lord's transcendental illuminating effulgence, Brajmanam, and thus he became bright as sun. Bibharta Dhama. He was therefore very difficult to see or approach through sensory perception. Indeed, he was unapproachable and unperceivable, even for such a formidable man as Kansa. And not only for Kansa, but for all living entities. Srila Prabhupada writes, word dham is significant. Dham refers to the place where Supreme Personality of Godhead resides. In the beginning of Srimad Bhagvatam 1.1.1, it is said, Dhamana svena sada nirastakuhakam satyam param dhimahi. So Dhamana here means the abode of the Supreme Lord. And there is no influence of material energy. Dhamana svena sada nirastakuhakam means material energy. What it means actually, one who is free from three modes of material nature, he can become only the abode of the Lord. Now Prabhupada writes, any place where Supreme Personality of Godhead is present by his name, form, quality or paraphernalia, immediately become Dham. For example, we speak Vrindavan Dham, Dwarka Dham, Mathura Dham. Because in these places, the name, fame, qualities and paraphernalia of Supreme Lord are always present. Similarly, if one is empowered by Supreme Personality of Godhead to do something, the core of his heart becomes Dham. And thus he becomes so extraordinarily powerful that not only his enemies but also people in general are astonished to observe his activities. Because he is unapproachable, his enemies are simply struck with wonder, as explained here by the word durasado ati durdarsha. The word Paurusham Dham have been explained by various Acharya. Sri V. Raghav Acharya says these words refer to effulgence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Paurusham means effulgence. Vidyadhvaj says is a Vishnu Tej, and the influence of the Supreme Personality Lord's effulgence. The Sukdev and Bhagavat Swarup. Sukte says Bhagavat Swarup. And the Vaishnava Toshani, the Sanatana Goswami says, these words indicate influence of the Supreme Lord's effulgence. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that they signify the appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the Paurusham Dham has different explanation by different acharyas. Bibhrat means carried. He was carrying. Vasudev was carrying. Paurusham Dham is spiritual effulgence of Supreme Person. Means that Vasudeva was holding the power, Dham, of the Supreme Lord, Paurusham. So he was holding the power of Supreme Lord. Or it can mean Vasudeva become effulgent on seeing the appearance of the Lord within himself. According to Vishwakosh Dictionary, Dham means body, house, ray, place, birth and influence. Durasada, difficult to look at, means that other living entities could not approach him. And Ati Durdarsha, difficult to approach, means that Kans and others could not possibly defeat Vasudeva. So Ati Durdarsha is for Kans. And Jiva Goswami writes in Karma Sandarbh, Vasudeva held the form of Lord. Paurusham Dham means form of the Lord. Vasudeva took on the effulgence of the Lord, Paurusham Dham, because Lord's power appeared in his mind. Or Dham can mean manifestation of power. Vishwakosh says the meaning of the Dham. People could not approach him or look at him, as it was impossible to defeat him. This clearly happened in a pronounced way. Sama. Same thing is verse number 18. Now what is next? The next is Tato Jagana Mangalam Achutansam Samahitam Surasutena Devi Dadhara Sarvatmakam Atmabhutam Kashta Yatha Anandakaram Manasa. Tato, thereafter means when Vasudeva carrying the Lord and effulgence of the Lord, then after that Jagan Mangalam, for the auspiciousness of for all living entities, for all whole world, Achutta Ansam, which actually Supreme Personality Godhead, who is never bereft of six opulence, means Achutta, he never fall from his opulence, he is always there with him. of which all of which are present in his plenary expansions. Achyuta ansam samahitam surasutena devi. They now transferred, samahite means holding now, samahite fully transferred. Fully transferred. Where? Surasutena by Vasudev, Surasuta, son of Sursen. Devi to the Devi Devaki. Dadhar, now she is carrying. Sarva Atmakam, the super soul of everyone. Adhbhutam, cause of all causes. Kashta, east direction. Yatha, like. Anandakaram means blissful moon. Manastaha, being placed within the mind. Thereafter, accompanied by plenary expansion, the fully opulent Supreme Personality of Godhead, Achyutansam, who is all auspicious Jagat Mangalam for entire universe, was transferred from the mind of Vasudev to the mind of Devaki. Devaki, having thus been initiated by Vasudev, become beautiful by carrying Lord Krishna, the original consciousness for everyone, Sarvatmakam. The cause of all causes, Adhbhutam. Within the core of her heart, just the east become beautiful by carrying the rising moon. So as indicated here by the word Manastaha, the Supreme Personal Godhead was transferred from the core of Vasudev's mind or heart to the core of the heart of Devaki. We should note carefully that the Lord was transferred to Devaki not by ordinary way for a human being, but by Diksha initiation. Thus the importance of initiation is mentioned here. Unless one is initiated by a right person, who always carries within his heart the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one cannot acquire the power to carry the Supreme Lord within the core of one's own heart. So anything you remember, the person who always carries the Lord within his heart, Supreme Personality within his heart. Anybody can remember something?
Tirthi kurvanti tirthani swantasten gadabhrita.
Say again.
Prabhuji, in first canto, there it comes ki because you carry Lord in your
Oh,
heart.
Tirtha Karwan, you are speaking about the Vidur. Because you carry the Lord, therefore you are the holy place, okay? Some line from the bhajan. Tava Hirde Govinda Vishram.
Govind kahina mora Vaishnav mera pran.
And also, Krishna se tumhara Krishna dite par amit kangal dhai tava pache pache. And then what Lord Vishnu told to the Durvasa Muni, I am always in the heart of the devotees and devotees are always in my heart. So this is something that those who carry the Supreme Lord within their heart, this is most important actually, that the person who carries can transfer. So these are some, when we read this, something we can relate to. The word, now the next word, Achyuta ansam is useful. Is used because Supreme Person of Godhead is Shad Aishwarya Purana. Shad means 6, Aishwarya means opulences. And they are wealth, strength, fame, knowledge, beauty and renunciation. So wherever he is, he has all these things with him, therefore he is called Achyuta. And ansam are these opulences and Achyuta is himself, Krishna. The Supreme God is never separated from his personal opulences. As stated in Brahma Sahita, Ramadi Murti Shukala Niyatam Tishtam. So therefore the word Achyutansam is specifically used here signifying that Lord is always present with his plenary expansion and opulences. There is no need to think of the Lord artificially as yogis do. Dhyana avastaden tadgaten mansa pashyanti yam yoginaha. Yogis meditate upon Supreme Person within the mind. For a devotee, however, the Lord is present, and his presence need only be awakened through initiation by a bona fide spiritual master. The Lord did not need to live within the womb of Devaki, for his presence within the core of heart was sufficient to carry him. One is here forbidden to think that Krishna was begotten by Vasudeva within the womb of Devaki and that he carried the child within her womb. No, it is wrong. When Vasudeva was sustaining the form of Supreme Personality of Godhead within his heart, he appeared just like glowing sun, whose shining rays are always unbearable. And scorching to the common man. From the Lord situated in the pure unalloyed heart of a Vasudeva is not difficult for the original form of Krishna. The appearance of the form of Krishna anywhere and especially within the heart is called Dham. When Krishna appears either in the temple or in the heart of a devotee, that place is called Dham. That place is called Dham. Dham referred to not only Krishna's form, but to his name. It means our japa bead is also Dham, in which we always chant holy name. That is also Dham. Sometimes people used to ask, where is Krishna? And I just show the japa bead. Here is a Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So Krishna is where there is holy name. So very simple, very practical. Say we always carry Krishna in our japa bag. Dham refers to not only to Krishna's form, but his name, his form, his qualities, or his paraphernalia. If you have Bhagvatam with you, the Krishna, you are Dham of the Krishna. If you are Gita with you, you are Dham of Krishna. Everything becomes manifest simultaneously. Thus, the eternal form of Supreme Person of Godhead with full potencies was transferred from the mind of Vasudeva to the mind of Devaki, exactly as the setting sun's rays are transferred to the full moon rising in the east. So, Devaki is here referred as east direction, and moon is rising there in the evening, and Vasudeva is referred to the sun. So from the sun-like effulgence of Krishna, Krishna has Surya Saman, is transferred to moon-like east direction, which represent Devaki. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, entered the body of Devaki from the body of Vasudeva. He was beyond the condition of ordinary living entity. When the Krishna is there, it is to be understood that all his plenary expansion like Narayan and the incarnations like Narsinga, Varha are with him, and they are not subject to condition of material existence. In this way, Devaki become residents of Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is one without second and the cause of all causes. Devaki become resident of absolute truth, but because she was within the house of Kansa, now Prabhupada is writing this, which will come in a upcoming verse. Because she was living within the house of Kansa, palace of Kansa, she looked just like suppressed fire, like within the walls, or like an misused education. This is the next verse. When the fire covered by the walls of the pot are kept in a jug, the illuminating rays of the fire cannot be very much appreciated. Similarly, misuse knowledge which does not benefit the people in general is not very much appreciated. So Devaki was kept within the prison wall of Kansa's palace, and no one could see her transcendental beauty, which resulted from her conceiving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Commenting upon this verse, Sri Veer Raghav Acharya writes, Vasudeva Devaki Jathayo Hirdayor Bhagavatah Sambandha. The Supreme Lord's entrance into the womb of Devaki from the heart of Vasudeva was a heart-to-heart relationship. So, Chakravarti Pad writes, Lord Krishna entered Devaki from Vasudeva. This is described in this verse. Jagan Mangalam Achutansam, who is very form of auspiciousness for the whole universe, Jagat Mangalam, who does not deviate, Achyuta, and who include all expansion answers, such as Narayan Narsingha. And Sarvatmakam Atmabhutam, what is the meaning? Sarva refer to all the devotees or to the Lord Shiva. Sarva is also called Lord Shiva. Atma refers to mind and Ka means happiness. Sarvatmakam. Thus the Lord is described as he who gives happiness to the minds of the devotees or to Lord Shiva. Atma Bhutam means he appears, Bhuta, on his own independently, Atma. The Lord appears in Devaki's mind without effort that yogi exert to envision the Lord. There is another meaning of Atma Bhutam. Dadhara Manasataha means Devaki held Krishna within the mind. This phrase rules out material conception and birth. Kashta is each direction. A suitable example is given to support this. It was just like the eastern direction, Kashta, holding the full moon, Anandakara. It is understood that the several days later, Devaki could perceive Krishna in her womb. So first the Krishna was in the heart and then he descended down and it appeared like Devaki is now having the growing baby in the womb. Because later in this chapter it is said, Drishtya ambate kokshi gataha parha puman. These are the demigods saying, O fortunate lady, the Supreme Lord has entered your womb. Verse number 41. Oh, she held the Lord, Sarvatmakam, who appeared within her, Atmabhutam, as her son. This indicates that the Lord does not take birth like Jiva. Madhva quote from Tantra Bhagavat. The foolish person covered by ignorance say that Lord whose form like Ram and Krishna are eternal and unchanging, incomparable and without any fault, accept and gives up bodies. On seeing the appearance of Krishna Ram in the world, he declares that they accept material human forms. They are fools. Mahavaraha Puran says, all the forms of Lord have eternal bodies without any fault. They never arise from matter. They are completely filled with the highest bliss and knowledge. This definition of the Lord, this is the definition of Lord. He was like the moon, which gives bliss because of its sweet rays. The rest is according to the explanation of Sridhar Swami. Or the Achyuta Ansam can mean he who is not lacking even on part. He who is complete with all his parts. Bhagavan. Therefore, he is the root form, Atmabhutam, who makes his appearance as if offering himself, Samahitam. It was previously mentioned that the seventh child would be the cause of joy and lamentation. The appearance of the Krishna was a cause of only joy. He was the cause of joy, Ka, for all jivas sarvatmakam. Or he would appear personally, Atmabhutam, unlike other forms, which become the object of yogi's meditation within great effort. because he appeared on his own, Samahitam. Now, this is from the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela. Srila Prabhupada writes, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur next quotes Shripad Baldev Vidyabhushan, who refers to the prayers offered by the demigods to Krishna in the womb of Devaki, and summarized the birth of Krishna as follows. As the rising moon manifests light in the east, so Devaki, who was always situated on the transcendental platform, having been initiated in the Krishna mantra by Vasudev, the son of Sursen, kept Krishna within her heart. From this statement of Srimad Bhagvatam 10-18, it is understood that the Supreme Person of Godhead, having been transferred from the heart of Anankadumdubi or Vasudev, manifested himself in the heart of Devaki. According to Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan, the heart of Devaki means the womb of Devaki, because in Srimad Bhagavatam 241, this verse is quoted, just we read. O Mother Devaki, the Lord is already within your womb. Therefore, that the Lord was transferred from heart of Vasudev to the heart of Devaki means he was transferred to the womb of Devaki. Verse number 19. Sa Devaki sarva jagan nivasaha nivasa bhuta nitaram nareje bhojendra gehe agni sikhe varuddha saraswati gyaan kala yatha sati. So, Devaki then kept within herself the Supreme Person of Godhead, the cause of all causes, the foundation of the entire cosmos. But because she was under arrest in the house of Kansa, she was like the flame of fire covered by the walls of the pot, or like a person who has knowledge but cannot distribute it to world for benefit of human society. So Srila Prabhupada is writing gyaan khala. Knowledge is meant for distribution. Although there is already much scientific knowledge, whenever scientists or philosopher awakens to a particular type of knowledge, they try to distribute it throughout the world. For otherwise, the knowledge gradually dries up and no one benefits from it. India has the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, but unfortunately, for some reason or other, the sublime knowledge of the science of God was not distributed throughout the world, although it is meant for all human society. Therefore, Krishna himself appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and ordered all Indians to take up the cause of distributing the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita throughout the entire world. Jare dekho tare kaho Krishna upadesh amar agya guru hai tar e desh. Instruct everyone to follow the order of Lord Krishna as they are given in Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. In this way, become a spiritual master and try to liberate everyone in this land. Although India has sublime knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita, India have never done their proper duty of distributing it. Now, therefore, this is the addition into our note of Krishna consciousness. Therefore, Krishna conscious movement has been set up to distribute this knowledge. This is what Ajay Prabhu yesterday was saying, and Prabhupada mission statement, two things are not. So this is the one thing, which was not in first chapter, it is in second chapter. So, Krishna conscious movement, but now this Krishna conscious movement without mundane compromises is distributing Bhagavad Gita as it is, and people are deriving the benefit of awakening to Krishna consciousness and becoming devotees of Lord Krishna. Therefore, the proper distribution of knowledge has begun, by which not only will the whole world benefit, but India's glory will be magnified in the human society. In most of my classes, I used to say the spiritual Akhanda Bharata is already established by Srila Prabhupada. Everywhere, all over the planet, in all the subcontinents and all the major cities, there is chanting of Hare Krishna and distribution of Bhagavad Gita as it is. So, there is a spiritual, sort of unity all over the world is already established. So here is the one aspect of that Krishna consciousness movement, to distribute the knowledge from Gita and in the form of books and magazines. Krishna tried to arrest, Kamsa tries to arrest Krishna consciousness within his house. Bhojendra Gehe. Bhojendra means the descendant of a Bhoj dynasty. Gehe means home. This also has another meaning we'll read in some purport. Bhoja means food, and Bhojendra means kitchen, and Gehe, it means the kitchen. Like the fire in the kitchen cannot go out. So there is a meaning of Bhojendra. But here Prabhupada writes, Kans tried to arrest the Krishna consciousness within his house, with the result that Kansa, with all his opulence, was later vanquished. It means because the Krishna consciousness was not distributed, therefore he was completely devastated and vanquished. Similarly, the real knowledge of Bhagavad Gita was being choked by unscrupulous Indian leaders, and with the result that Indian culture and knowledge of the Supreme were being lost. Now, however, because Krishna consciousness is spreading, the proper use of Bhagavad Gita is being attempted. So from this purport, take the purpose of Krishna consciousness movement. Okay, is Ajay there?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, so this is the one which was not there, is now added.
Correct. You're right, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Devaki become the shelter of all material, non-material worlds. But all people could not take advantage of that bliss given form. Only a few close persons could appreciate her condition. Agni Sikheva Ruddha covered fire. In a prison house of Kamsa, Bhojendra, Devaki was like a covered fire. When a fire is burning in the house, it does not illuminate the town, but only the object or person near it in the house can see or perceive the fire. However, when the fire becomes strong, it can burn down the restricting house. In this way, Devaki would in due course of time destroy Kansa. Saraswati gyaan khale. Next phrase. Knowledge not distributed. Knowledge trapped in the heart of a man, do not distribute it. Literary cheaters of the knowledge does not flourish and benefit others. That knowledge will eventually destroy its receptor, its restrictor, who is very sinful. In the same way, Devaki would destroy the offensive Kansa. So these are the meaning of these two analogies given, the Agni Shikha Ruddha and Saraswati Gyaan Khale. Now we have Jiva Goswami writing, she who was famous as function of Shuddha Sattva, Sa means Devati, and she is function of Shuddha Sattva, who was aptly named Devaki because of her effulgence, did not shine at all. She was like light and knowledge. Just as light covered up does not give bliss to all eyes, so knowledge covered up does not give bliss to all minds. So light to the eyes and knowledge to the mind. In Kansa's prison house, she could not be seen, could not enter people's mind. So people could not see, neither people can have their minds satisfied by having the knowledge of Krishna. The word Jagat, now Laghu Toshani, Vaishno Toshani, the word Jagat means that which moves. It means this material world. Thus it means temporary. The Sarva Jagat means everything temporary. However, by taking Sarva as the separate indicator, Sarva means all, can also indicate entities which are eternal. Thus, Sarva Jagana Nivasa means the Lord who is shelter of eternal and temporary beings. Eternal and temporary beings. As the Shruti says, Yasya Bhasa Sarva Idam Vibhati. By his light everything is illuminated. This indicates Krishna. Devaki acted as his shelter, Nivas Bhuta. So one who is the shelter of all eternal and temporary beings, for that Lord Devaki becomes shelter because he took shelter in the heart of Devaki or womb of Devaki, Nivas Bhuta. But though she was thus qualified to be the giver of all bliss and auspiciousness, she did not shine externally with those qualities, but shone internally with her own bliss, which exceeded that of Vasudeva and others. As covered flame and a person with suppressed knowledge do not shine with all brilliance, but shine with brightness internally. Those two, by their light, give internal light because of their personal splendor. For a person's knowledge, the internal aspect is mind. And even if the flame is covered, it can burn down a house. Covered knowledge destroys its shelter, the subtle body, along with sins. So this is the different approach to these two phrases. And this is Sanatana Goswami writes, she had become the supreme shelter of Krishna, who is the shelter of the whole universe. This is the straightforward meaning of what we have discussed. Jagat Nivas, Sarva Jagat Nivas. She appeared in this world as the mother of the Swayam Bhagavan. She was most fortunate and most beautiful because of this. Still she did not shine or appear beautiful, Nareje. She was like a covered fire since she was not happy. An example is given. She was like a person who is a personification of Veda, Saraswati, who does not reveal the knowledge to the others, gyana khale. Though being happy in himself with that knowledge, a person, as a person, he deprives other person of knowledge. Hiding knowledge, however, does not depend on being in Kansa's prison. Thus it is general example. Or a knowledge attained by a person whose intention to harm others, gyana khale, does not shine. The defect is in a respect of knowledge being within the prison, is restricted. Bhojendra geha can also mean in the kitchen. Just as flame covered by the smoke in the kitchen does not shine, so she did not shine because of Kansa's evil action. Or did she not shine constantly being imprisoned by Kansa? Yes. She shone because she contained the Lord. Just as flame shines even though repressed, she shone. Similarly, a person with a great knowledge shines constantly by special cleverness through suggestion and other devices of speech, gyana khale. The word jagat means that which moves. That's what we have just discussed, is same thing almost. Then Harivansh Puran says, after her seventh conception was aborted, Devaki conceived for the eighth time, for which Kansa had destroyed her seven conception. The minister of Kansa guarded that conception with careful effort. But then Hari, Vishnu, was residing in her womb at his self-will. The same day Yashoda conceived Nidra, who carries out the instruction of Vishnu and who manifested from Vishnu's body, which means Yogamaya. Verse number 2. Yes?
Prabhu, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Because we read in the Prabhupada's purport that Krishna was not in the womb of Devaki. But here, other commentators derive that he was in her womb. So what is the right perception?
I think it's a very simple, that first Krishna transferred from the mind of Vasudeva to the mind of the Devaki, and then Devaki for some time held the Krishna in her mind, and then Krishna descended down to the womb as Krishna descended in the Mother Uttara from the heart to the womb to protect Parikshit. So similarly, Krishna here also descended down into the womb. But he did not appear from the womb. He simply appeared as a four-handed child when he was born. So because this is for 41 verse is giving the information that the demigod says the Lord is within your womb already. So he was in the womb. And I heard Maharaj saying, Radha Govind Swami Maharaj was saying, though the Lord was always within the heart of Devaki, but some just false air was enlarging the abdomen, that as if she is pregnant. So there are these also explanation by some acharyas like that. But here what we see, the both versions are there. It is okay?
Thank you. Achintya.
Yeah, I think, say, for people may ask that, well, anyway, Krishna is son, so he must be womb. Yes. If God is everywhere, why cannot he be in a womb? Is there a restriction that he cannot go in womb? He entered the womb of mother of Parikshit Maharaj, and he protected the baby there. So he can be in every atom, so why not in a womb? What is the problem in the womb for Lord? He can be anywhere. But all the commentators at least agreeing on this one point, that the appearance of Krishna is not like ordinary baby, which is between mother and father is taking, but this was not like that. It is initiation, it is a diksha. This is a initiation, a spiritual initiation, a transfer of the Lord from the Vasudeva to the heart of Devaki. That is accepted by everybody.
Thank you.
Okay, are you all? Anybody else has anything to say?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes.
Prabhu, could you please explain that what is the meaning of that covering knowledge will destroy the subtle body?
There are two meanings of the covering knowledge here. The knowledge is Saraswati, which is Veda. If you have that knowledge, you have to distribute it. Prabhupada's mood is if you distribute. If you don't distribute, then it degenerates. This is one aspect of this knowledge. The other aspect of this knowledge, which two Acharya are explaining, that though this knowledge is not distributed externally, but internally it has cleansed the person's mind from all sins and dissolved the subtle body. Though it is not externally distributed, but internally it has transformed the person. So there are two explanations of this knowledge which is covered. One which is apparent, that those who are not distributing knowledge, and Prabhupada's whole mood was this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, which was of India, they have not distributed. Therefore, India itself has degenerated in knowledge. So Prabhupada has taken the first meaning more importantly, that those who have knowledge and don't distribute, then they are not giving benefit to the whole world, and they are also destroying their own reputation. This is Prabhupada's mood. So knowledge means distribute. But I think the other aspect which we can say bhajanandi, and Goshti Anandi. So those who distributed knowledge are Goshti Anandi. But those who don't distribute, they only purify their own inside and they dissolve their subtle body. They are like bhajan Anandi. So some has taken like that. They have not used these words, but the commentary is like that. So Prabhupada has taken Goshti Anandi as important as the preaching is most important. So this was Prabhupada's mood. And it's the whole mood of Gaudiya Sampradaya that knowledge has to be distributed, not just keep within yourself for personal your benefit. This is one story I used to tell. There was one person who went to a saintly person with some couple $1,000 and said, "Oh, I have to donate this for you." He said, "But I will not touch the money. Take this. Why should I use your money? I'm simply meditating myself." Then that person went to the second saintly person. And he says, "Sir, I have some couple $1,000 to donate." He said, "Welcome, but we have this educational center we are establishing. We need a little more. If you can afford this, you can give some more, maybe $10,000. So he gave money, then he asked from him, "Sir, I went to so-and-so saintly person, he did not touch to the money. He said, "Yes, such people are also needed on the planet because they're not interested in anything. They're interested only in their self-interest. And they want to save their own soul." Then this person went again back to this first person. He said, "Sir, you did not take money, but the other one said, 'Give me more for education, spiritual education.'" He said, "Yes. We are like the lion who can swim the river on his own strength. But that person is building the bridge over the river. Everybody can cross. So he is greater than us. So those who distribute knowledge are greater than those who keep the knowledge for themselves." Is it okay? Will it clarify the point?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, verse number 20. Tam vikshaha kansaha. So this is when Devaki was shining, but it was like covered fire. At that time, Kansa came in the prison. And this verse explained what Kansa saw and what was his observation and contemplation. This is the verse. Because the Supreme Person of Godhead was within the womb, within her womb, Devaki's womb. Devaki illuminated the entire atmosphere in the place where she was confined. Seeing her jubilant, pure and smiling. Suchi, they said Suchi Smita. Suchi means pure, Smit means smiling. Comes thought, the Supreme Person of Godhead, Vishnu, who is now within her, will kill me. Devaki has never before looked so brilliant and jubilant. So this is the observation of person like Kansa, who is cruel. But when somebody is carrying Supreme Lord, then his thought, how that person looks like and what the other person will have the influence of that person. So Devaki carrying Lord is looking jubilant, is purely smiling, is brilliant. And Kansa, his mind, though knowing that now Devaki has something different than what she was having before in her womb, and he might be the eighth child going to kill me, but he was contemplating, and after contemplating he will come to the conclusion, and the conclusion that I will not kill Devaki. I will wait for the child to be born. So Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada quote this verse, Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya. And then Srila Prabhupada writes, in this age, at the present moment, there are inordinate discrepancies in the discharge of human duties. Human life is meant for God realization, But unfortunately, the materialistic civilization is stressing only senses of the body, not understanding the living force within the body. As clearly said in Bhagavad Gita, Dehino asmin yatha de. And then, but human society has become so fallen that instead of understanding the living force within the body, people have become busy with external things. This is a discrepancy in the human's duties. Therefore, Krishna has taken birth or taking shelter with the womb of Krishna conscious movement. This is another quotation. Because this is people sometimes ask us, so much trouble is there, why Krishna is not appearing? Krishna has already appeared within the Krishna conscious movement in the form of holy name. Kali Kale Nam Rupe Krishna Avatar. So Prabhupada, and therefore Krishna has taken birth or taken shelter within the womb of Krishna conscious movement. We say Krishna conscious movement was conceived in Jhansi and was delivered in New York. Especially in Western countries, Paschal Desha Tarani. One politician has remarked that Krishna conscious movement is spreading like an epidemic, and that if not checked immediately within 10 years, it may capture governmental power. Who was that politician? Anybody knows? I don't know. Anybody has any idea? One politician has remarked that Krishna conscious movement is spreading. Within 10 years, they will capture governmental power. Which politician, we don't know. Prabhupada has somebody in mind. Now, Prabhupada is saying, there is of course such potency in Krishna conscious movement. It means Prabhupada wanted that Krishna conscious movement must have trained kshatriyas, the administrator class. They should take over the governmental power. This was Prabhupada's mood of Krishna conscious movement. It was purpose. Prabhupada says within 10 years that person says, but we are now over 50 years. So this is a challenge which Prabhupada really wanted that should be accomplished. As stated by the authorities, Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. So Krishna appeared as a Mahamantra. The Krishna conscious movement is spreading like the wild fire all over the world, and it will go on doing so. Men who are like Kansa are very much afraid of movement's progress and acceptance by the younger generation. But as Krishna could not be killed by Kansa, this movement cannot be checked by men of Kansa class. This is the hope for Krishna conscious movement, that it cannot be harassed from outside. That's what Prabhupada said. It can never be damaged from outside. Only if there's a problem, it will be from inside. The movement will go on increasing more and more, provided, and this is important, is a challenge for all of us, provided the leaders of the movement remain firmly Krishna conscious by following the regular principle and primary activities of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra regularly. This is primary activities, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra regularly. If they continue doing this, then nobody can harm Krishna conscious movement. So this is a very nice purport actually, very informative for the purpose of Krishna conscious movement and the devotee's self personal application. Devaki, who was holding Vishnu within her womb, Ajit Antaram, filled the room with light. She smiled out of genuine bel Suchi Simitan, not in order to receive Kansa as previously. Seeing her, Kansa then addressed her Harihi. Vishnu, Hari can mean lion. Seeing Devaki, Kans thought like the lion who kills, Pranahari. The elephant kills the elephant. Hari, who will take my life, has taken shelter in the womb of Devaki. Certainly this is so because Devaki did not appear effulgent previously. Pureyam. So Kansa personally saw her. Her effulgence is described in Vishnu Puran. No one could look at Devaki because of her effulgence. Seeing her shining shining form, they become disturbed in mind. Because of the bliss of Lord, she had a pure, Suchi smile. It was not deceptive smile which she previously showed. Seeing her, Kansa spoke. Lord has taken shelter of her womb or heart, Guham. A secondary meaning is like a snake. The Lord has taken shelter of the whole out of fear of me, a lion. So here one Acharya is saying Hari means lion. So I am the lion. And this Lord is like a snake and he is hiding in the heart of Devaki. And the other says he is a lion who is going to kill me. Seeing her so effulgent, Kans become frightened. He said, now the destroyer of my life has come. She was not like this before. And Hari once says, okay, this is already we have read. Verse number 21. Now this is again Kansa's thinking. Kim adhyatasmin karinyam ashu me, what should I do now? Yadarthe tantro na vihanti vikramam. Istriyaha, she is lady. Swasu, she is my sister. Gurumatya, she is pregnant. Vadhoayam, I cannot kill her. Why? Because Shriyam, my fame, my all opulence, Hanti will be destroyed. Anukalam ayuhu, and also my life will be destroyed. So, Kansa is thinking like that. Kansa thought, what is my duty now? The Supreme Lord who knows his purpose. Supreme Lord who knows his purpose. What is the purpose of Supreme Lord? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya dushkritam. Will not give up his promise. Devaki is a woman. She is my sister, and moreover, she is now pregnant. If I kill her, my reputation, yash, opulence, shri, and duration of life, the last word, ayu, will certainly be vanquished. Hanti. Srila Prabhupada writes, according to the Vedic principle, a woman, a Brahman, an old man, a child, and cow should never be killed. It appears that Kansa, although a great enemy of the Supreme Person of Godhead, was aware of the Vedic culture and conscious of the fact that the soul transmigrates from one body to another and that one suffers in the next life according to the karma of his life. Therefore, he was afraid of killing Devaki. Since she was a woman, she was his sister and she was pregnant. A Kshatriya becomes famous by performing heroic acts. But what would be heroic about killing a woman who, while confined in his custody, was under his shelter? Therefore, he did not want to act drastically by killing Devaki. Kansa's enemy was within Devaki's womb, but killing an enemy in such a nascent state would not be exhibition of prowess. According to Kshatriya rule, an enemy should be fought face to face and with proper weapons. Then if the enemy is killed, the victor becomes famous. Kansa very consciously deliberated upon these facts and therefore refrained from killing Devaki, although he was completely confident that his enemy had already appeared within her womb. Chakravarti Pad writes, in this verse, Kamsa speak more clearly his intention. What should I do about Hari in this situation? It is proper to kill him while he is still an embryo? No. Because those interested in their own welfare, Arth Tantra, do not destroy their own good name. If I kill him now, my reputation of prowess will be destroyed. But if he is born and grows, and then I fight with him, whether I am victorious or defeated, my glory will remain intact. Killing a child in the womb is not an act of bravery. Therefore, such a deed will not only destroy my fame, but Dharma will also get destroyed. Thus, Kamsa rightly thinks that by killing a woman, a sister, a fetus, he will vanquish his fame, power, and lifespan. This temporary restriction to Kamsa's evil nature was due to fear. Thus, Kamsa reflected upon his reputation through careful discrimination. First meaning is, Vishnu will not give up his prowess and will try to kill me. But killing a woman is sinful. According to Sridhar Swami, there is a second meaning. And what is the second meaning? A person knowing his own benefit does not give up his prowess. Thus, killing a woman is not good since one loses fame, wealth, and longevity. Right now, immediately, what would I do? Oh, his evil nature become restricted because of fear. And he thought of how to act for his benefit, personal benefit. If I kill her, will it not be temporary means to protect my life? If I kill her, I will not obtain the long-lasting infamy and loss of wealth. It is bad to kill a woman, worse if she is my sister, and the worst if she is pregnant. And by killing her, it is bad to lose fame, worse to lose wealth, and worst to lose long life. By killing her, my life is destroyed. What will be the good of that? Verse 22, again Kamsa is thinking, Saesa jivam khalahu sampreto varteta yo atyanta nirsamstena dehe mrtetam manujah saptane ganta tamo andham tano na manino tanu maninu. This is the one word Srila Prabhupada is taken for the whole purport. Tanu maninu. Dhurvam. A person who is very cruel is regarded as dead even while living. For while he is living or after his death, everyone condemn him. And after death of a person in a bodily concept of life, tanu manina, he is undoubtedly transferred into the hell known as andhattama. So Srila Prabhupada's purport, Kamsa considered that if he killed his sister while living, he would be condemned by everyone. And after death, he would go to the darkest region of the hellish life because of his cruelty. It is said that the cruel person, like a butcher, is advised not to live and not to die. This is the verse everybody knows. Rishi Putra Ma Jiva, this is Rajaputra Jiva something, and this is the butcher. So Prabhupada is saying the third line, butcher. The butcher is advised not to live and not to die. Why? While living, the cruel person creates a hellish condition for his next life, and therefore he should not live. But he is also advised not to die, because after death he must go to the darkest region of hell. Thus in either circumstance he is condemned. Kamsa therefore, having good sense about the signs of the soul's transmigration, deliberately refrained from killing Devaki. Yeah, this is just a statement Prabhupada gave. Now Prabhupada is giving purport. In this verse, the word Ganta tanu andham tanu manina dhurvam. This is are very important and require extensive understanding. Srila Jiva Goswami in his Vaishnava Toshani Tika says, Tatra tano maninah papinah iti dehatma buddhi eva pap abhinivesho bhavati. One who lives in the bodily concept, thinking I am this body, involves himself by the very nature of this conception in life of sinful activities. Anyone living in such a conception is to be considered a candidate for hell. And then Srila Prabhupada is quoting another verse from Bhagvatam. Adanta gobhi vistaram tamissaram punaj punas charvit charvinanam. One who is in bodily concept of life has no control over sense gratification. Such a person can do anything sinful to eat, drink, be merry and enjoy a life of sense gratification, not knowing of his soul's transmigration from one body to another. Such a person does whatever he likes, whatever he imagines, and therefore being subject to law of nature, he suffers miserably again and again in different material bodies. Yavat kriya tavat idam mano vai karmatmakam yena sarira bandha 555. In the bodily concept of life, person is karma anubandha, or conditioned by karma. And as long as mind is absorbed in karma, one must accept a body, material body. Sarira bandha, bondage to the material body, is source of misery, kleshada. Na sadhu manya yato atmaha yamasma api kaleshada asa deha 554. Although the body is temporary, it always gives one trouble in many ways. But human civilization is now unfortunately based on tanumanina, bodily concept of life, by which one thinks I belong to this nation, I belong to this group, I belong to that group, and so on. Each of us has his own idea, and we are becoming increasingly involved individually, socially, communally, and nationally in the complexities of the karma anubandha sinful activities. For the maintenance of the body, men are killing so many other bodies and becoming implicated in karma anubandha. Therefore, Srila Jiva Goswami says, Tanu mani, those in bodily concept of life, are papi, sinful persons. For such sinful persons, the ultimate destination is the darkest region of hellish life. Ganta tamo andham. Ganta means going, tamo andham means dark, hellish life. And particularly, a person who wants to maintain his body by killing animal is most sinful and cannot understand the value of a spiritual life. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Tanaham dvishit kruram sansareshu naradhavan kshipami ajarsam ashubham manusya asurishu jaiva yonishu asurim yonim apana mudha janmani namam aprapya konteha tato yanti adamam gatim. Those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, they are tanumanina, are cast by me into the ocean of material existence, into the various demonic species of life, attaining repeated birth. Among the species of demonic life, such persons can never approach me. Gradually they sink down to the most abominable type of existence, which means they become the ashes and dogs, donkey and pig. A human being is meant to understand the value of human life, which is born after and after many, many births. Therefore, one must free oneself from tanumani, the bodily concept of life, and utilize the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, bodily concept of life is called tanumani, and how one can be free from this? What is your suggestion? Yes? What it means actually that we should, theoretically we know I am not body, I am soul, but practically how can we go beyond the bodily concept of life? Yes? Topic for discussion.
Absorb the mind in the bhakti.
absorb the mind in the bhakti, but the body is not allowing. Senses are strong. Okay.
Engage our senses in service.
How?
Srila Prabhupada has given such a great routine for us in the morning till the evening, so we can engage our senses since morning till evening in service.
We are doing this, I think most of all are doing this. Are we really reached to the stage of beyond bodily concept? This is a what is the name speaking now?
Stuti Priya.
So, you asked me one question about the evolution of Supreme Lord from the Narsingadev to the Ram to the Krishna to the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, this is, I think, Gaur Govind Maharaj has written in some I've read many years back, but this is starting from Vishnu. He wanted to have a fight, so he wanted Jay and Vijay to go down for fighting. Then, as a Narsingadev, he developed the desire for Vatsalya, then he developed for Sakhya, and then he the desire for Madhurya. So in this way, this is the evolution till Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
So in the presentation, I had to present this. So if I had, like, if the teacher would ask me-
Exactly. I thought that I don't remember, but because for many, every year, every time I discuss this, so it is just like my second nature. But it is written in some book. I think Gaur Govind Maharaj has written, as far as I remember.
Thank you so much.
So, my humble observation and realization is that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given Sankirtan movement, and those who are actually taking the active part in chanting and dancing, they will go beyond the bodily concept of life very quickly. This is my personal observation and opinion. And by regularly hearing Bhagavatam, one can be easily crossing over the obstacles of offenses, nast prayashu abhadreshu. Two things, chanting and dancing and always having Bhagavatam are very useful for us to go beyond bodily concept and also be free from the offenses and easily go to the stage of Nishtha and further. In old days, devotee used to say, because they were doing kirtan whole day, they have no thought of body or enjoyment of body. They're completely absorbed in that. Hours of kirtan, hours and hours of kirtan. This was the beginning of Krishna consciousness, with almost whole day filled with kirtan. Right?
Well, one other step to cross is one has to be able to see all living entities as part and parcel of Krishna. And without that, our bodily conception of life does not end.
Theoretically it's very easy, but I'm saying practically how can you do that?
Yeah.
We know theoretically, practically even 70-year-old Prabhupada used to dance in kirtan, and he was doing hours and hours of kirtan. There's only the way really to get out of bodily concept. This is my personal realization and observation.
Preaching seva is very important.
Yeah, preaching has to keep you strict to the at least standards, because people watch you, not your words. They listen to your words, but more than they look how you behave, how you act. Therefore, you have to be, at least following the rules and regulation when you are speaking. That is good to be actually doing the sadhana, because then otherwise they won't accept you. Anyway, this is my observation, so I wanted to share. Anybody who is really taking more interest in kirtan, that is the Sankirtan movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By his mercy, it is easy to cross over the bodily concept of life. So,
Thank you for this realization.
though a cruel person appears to be living with the external point of view, he is actually dead. Jiva Goswami says. I think this is, well, it is still better that you live a little longer. He answers with this verse. If one commits such a sin, one appears to be living but is actually dead. For I will be rejected just as the people avoid a corpse by such a violent act. Atyanta nisharan shristena. The word khalu indicates conjecture. A man will be condemned, all men will condemn this action. Sridhar Swami explained that Tanu Manina means sinful people. For by giving regard to their bodies, they become sinful. Men condemn the sinful people while dead, when even while living. Okay, verse 23. Iti ghauratmad bhavat sanivrittah swayam prabho asate pratikshamam tajjanama harera vairanubandha kirta. Oh, this last word is most important. Harera vera anubandha. Harer means Supreme Lord, Vair means enmity, Anubandh means he was completely absorbed, his consciousness in thinking of Hari as enemy. That is called not Anukulyena Krishna Anushilnam, Pratikulyena Anu Krishna Anushilnam. It's not Anukulya, it's not favorable, it's unfavorably. As the enemy always thinking, this is the whole purport is on mostly on this word. But the word Prabhu is for Kans himself. He did not ask any minister. He just decided on his own that I am not going to kill now. I will wait for the baby to born. And he was thinking of enmity towards Hari from that day. And everywhere is looking, this next verse will say. Sukdev Goswami said, deliberating in this way, Kansa, although determined to continue in enmity towards Supreme Person of Godhead, refrained from the vicious killing of his sister. He decided to wait until the Lord was born and then do what was needed. He decided to wait. Okay. Deliberating in this way, he refrained from the terrible intention to act, bhavat, completely tansimran nivrittaha, by his own decision, by his own Prabhu, by his own decision, not by advice from minister. This means he did not even attempt to make her have a miscarriage, because he was independent. Prabhu, of course, others. Or Swayam Prabhu can mean that he could decide on his own, not depending on others' opinion. However, actually he would be under the control of Antaryami. This is very important statement by the Laghu Vaishnava Toshani. Actually he is under control of Antaryami, means super soul. He continues the enmity to the Lord, who is famous for being attractive to all through his name and destroy all fault, such as enmity to the Lord. Hare. It has been said that Kansa reached perfection by fear. Bhayata Kansa. This verse mentions his enmity for fear turns into enmity. Fear turns into enmity. And he thus awaited the birth of Lord. In Hari, once Kansa speaks to his ministers, I think we have already said this, 24. Now, how he was Krishna conscious, this verse says, Kansa is Krishna conscious but unfavorably. Asinaha samvisansaha tishtam, sitting, sleeping, walking, bhunjana, eating, priyatanaha, just when on excursion outside, mahim on the planet Earth, chintayanto rishikesham, always thinking of Krishna. Apashyataha tanmayam, oh, he was completely absorbed. Jagat. While sitting on his throne or in his sitting room, while lying on his bed, or indeed while situated anywhere, and while eating, sleeping, or walking, Kans saw only his enemy, the Supreme Lord, Rishikesh. In other words, by thinking of his all-pervading enemy, Kansa become unfavorably Krishna conscious. So Srila Rupa Goswami has described the finest pattern of devotional service, Anukulyena Krishna Anusilanam, cultivating Krishna consciousness favorably. But Kansa, of course, was also Krishna conscious. It was more Krishna conscious. Narad says, Devrishi Narad says, Kansa was more Krishna conscious than devotees. He was more thinking of Krishna all the time, but as an enemy, unfavorably. But because he regarded Krishna as his enemy, even though he was fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness, his Krishna consciousness was not favorable for his existence. Krishna consciousness, favorably cultivated, makes one completely happy. So much so that a Krishna conscious person does not consider Kaivalya Sukham, or merging into the existence of Krishna, to be the great gain. So whole purport is describing the difference between favorably Krishna conscious and unfavorably Krishna conscious.
Prabhuji,
Yes?
regarding the Kevalya part.
Now what happened is, when Prabhupada is writing here, he is remembering a verse by Prabodhanand Saraswati Thakur. So now this whole purport for a whole page is going on the verse by Prabodhanand Saraswati. Kevalam narakayayate pushpam akasha pushpam. So this is something in came in Prabhupada's mood, that those who are devotee, they don't look at merging, which is for the gyanis, like a fig or nothing, and they don't look for the heavenly planet. So this is something Prabhupada is explaining this verse of Prabodhanand Swami right now. Kevalyam means merging into the absolute, but there's also Kevalyam in devotional service. Completely absorbed only in Krishna is also called Kevalyam in some purpose. So what was your point, Kevalyam, Arjay Prabhu?
My point is, even to have a feeling of Kevalya, merging, is actually a very high level.
When?
Is it that Krishna consciousness comes after that feeling, the pure Krishna consciousness?
No. I think
feeling,
why Prabhupada is writing, why this word came at this time in Prabhupada's mood, this because he started by about the definition of the pure devotion, anyabhilashita shunyam, gyaan karmadi anavritam. So now Srila Prabhupada is speaking about gyaan, which should not cover devotion, because gyaan is want to merge in the Brahm, and then he will speak about the karmis. They want to go to the heavenly planet. So actually Prabhupada is describing the anyabhilashita shunyam verse, but then he is quoting the Prabhupada Saraswati's verse.
Right.
Is okay?
Yeah, it's okay, but theoretically I understand, but practically, what my point is that even having a feeling of merging into Brahman is actually very high level.
See,
have people who have that level of feeling?
Yeah, like the Sukadev was Brahmavadi and then he became a devotee. Kumaras were Brahmavadi.
So Kumar, Sukadev, Prabhuji, they are at a very high level. But in current environment.
I said, I would say actually this devotion is the topmost dharma, is a paro dharma. So what are the other dharma? The first dharma is karma is dharma, to go to the heaven. It is not a paro dharma. Then the gyaan is dharma, to merge in the Brahma is not a paro dharma. Then even bhakta's dharma to have 4 types of liberation and Vaikuntha is not paro dharma also. The only paro dharma is saivai punsam paro dharma yato bhakti adokhi. Only pure love as of the Brajavasis, Gopas and Gopis for Krishna, that is paro dharma. Narad said that is parodharma. And this definition is for param dharma. Is not for the gyanis or karmis. So these gyanis and karmis which should not cover the pure devotional service. So Prabhupada is now explaining these two anavritam, gyaan karma adi anavritam. So he's discussing this aspect, and for that he is quoting a verse of the Prabhupada Saraswati. So this is kevalyam narkayate tridasha pura akash pushpa, like heaven is like a flower in the sky, it's no useless. So karmis, so say gyanis and karmis, this is what Prabhupada is discussing this verse. Hankers to be promoted to heavenly planet, but Krishna conscious person consider such promotion a will of the weak, good for nothing. Durantrendriya kala sarpa patalahi prokhatah danstrayate. Yogi tried. Now these two are gone. Adi, gyaan, karma, adi. Adi is yogi. Gyaan is kevalam. Karma is heaven. Adi is yogi. The yogi tried to control their senses and thus become happy, but Krishna conscious person neglect the method of yoga. He is unconcerned with the greatest enemies of the senses, which are compared to the snakes. For a Krishna conscious person who is cultivating Krishna consciousness favorably, the happiness conceived by the karmis, gyanis and yogi is treated as less than a fig. Kansa, however, because of cultivating Krishna consciousness in a different way, that is inimically, was uncomfortable in all the affairs of his life. Whether sitting, sleeping, walking or eating, he was always in danger. This is the difference between the devotee and non-devotee. A non-devotee or atheist who also cultivate God consciousness by trying to avoid God in everything. For example, so-called scientists who want to create a life by a combination of chemical regard the external material elements as supreme. Such scientists do not like the idea that the life is part of and parcel of the Supreme Lord. As clearly stated in Bhagavad Gita, Mamaivanso Jiva Loke. Okay. The living entities do not arise from combination of material elements such as earth, water, fire, but are separate portion of Supreme Person of Godhead. If one can understand the position of living entity as separate portion of the Supreme Person of Godhead, by studying nature of the living entity, one can understand the nature of the Supreme God. Since the living entity is a fragmental sample of the God, but because the atheists are not interested in God consciousness, they try to be happy by cultivating Krishna consciousness in various unfavorable ways. Although Kansa was always absorbed in the thought of Hari, the Supreme Person of Godhead, he was not happy. A devotee, however, whether sitting on the throne or beneath a tree, is always happy. Srila Rupa Goswami resigned from the office as a government minister and sit beneath a tree, yet he was happy. Tekta turna asesha mandalapati shrani sada tuchchavat. He did not care for his comfortable position as a minister. He was happy even beneath a tree in Vrindavan, favorably serving the Supreme Person of Godhead. This is the difference between the devotee and non-devotees. For the non-devotees, the world is full of problems, whereas for the devotees, the entire world is full of happiness. And this is from Chaitanya Chandramrita. This comfortable position of a devotee can be established by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yasministito na dukkhe na gurunapi vichalyate. Even when a devotee is superficially put into great difficulty, he is never disturbed. Now see, Chakravarti Pada has written this idea, Prabhupada has elaborated on that. The absorption of the Kansa's mind in the Lord out of fear, born of hatred, is described in this verse. Swavansam. Some Vishans lying on the bed means while sleeping. Rishikesham. The Lord is called Rishikesh, one who controls all the senses. Chintayano, always thinking badly, implies that Kans was continuously thinking of Hari, so that he saw Hari wherever he looked. Such vision gives a bliss in prem, but in fear it yields extreme distress. This is the theme Srila Prabhupada elaborated on this. Vision of Krishna everywhere out of prem is blissful, and out of fear is very distressful. This is the difference between the devotee and an enemy seeing the Lord. And here Laghu Vaishno Toshani says, if he appears now, he will kill me. Because Lord appears in all senses, Rishikesham. Because Lord appeared in his all senses. He appeared to Kansa's vision. Though such constant vision of Lord is rare for yogis and accomplished devotees with prem, they see him with a great bliss, whereas Kansa saw him with great distress. So this is the idea which Srila Prabhupada has elaborated. Verse 25. Brahma bhavascha tatraita itya munibhir narda adibhi devahi sanucharahi sakam girabhi varshanam aedyam. This varshanam is most important word in this verse, which means actually see word to one meaning. The Supreme Person of Godhead who can bestow blessing upon everyone. Varshanam means showering mercy. So Brahma and Bhava is Shankar. They came there where? In a place where Devaki and Vasudev was confined. Who other came? Munibhir, Narada Adibhi, and also other rishis, Vyasadi and Narad and 4 Kumaras, they all came there. Devai and also the Indra and moon god and other Varun and these all, along with their follower Gandharvas, they all came there. Where? Why? To worship him. Adhyan. So Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, accompanied by great sage Narad, Deval and Vyas, and by other demigods like Indra, Chandra, Varuna, invisibly approached the room of the Devaki, where they all joined in offering the respectful obeisance and prayers to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can bestow blessing upon everyone. So Prabhupada writes, Devabhut sargo loke asmin dev asur evacha. So Padma, and also Padma Purana, it says there are 2 classes of men, Dev and Asura, means divine and demonic. And there is a great difference between them. Kans, being an Asura, was always planning how to kill Supreme Personality of Godhead or his mother Devaki. Thus, he was also Krishna conscious, but devotees are Krishna conscious favorably. Vishnu Bhakta Samarto Deva. Brahma is so powerful that he is in charge of creating an entire universe. Yet he personally came to receive the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhava, Lord Shiva, is always jubilant in chanting the holy name of Lord and want to speak of Narada. But to speak of Narada, Narada Muni Bajaye Bina Radha Radhika Ramana Name. So Narada Muni is always chanting the glories of the Lord, and his engagement is to travel all over the universe and find devotees or make some devotees. Even a hunter was made devotee by Narada, by the grace of Narada. Sri Sanatana Goswami in his Toshani says that the word Narada Adibhi means Narada and the demigods were accompanied by other saintly persons like Sanak, Sanatan, all of whom came to congratulate or welcome Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even though Kansa was planning to kill Devaki, he too awaited the arrival of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Pratiksham tad janama. Chakravarti Pad has given a good allegory, a poetic allegory. Varshanam, Lord who blesses all. The word refers to Lord Krishna, who like a cloud rains the nectar of his pastime. Brahma acts as the chief cultivator in the field of the 14 worlds. Bhava or Shiva is like a chief peacock with his tail feathers spread, fondly dancing before the rain. And Narada Adibhi, Narada and other singers are like chatak birds expressing great longing for reign of Krishna pastime. And VIHE demigods are like the suffering elephants surrounded by the forest fire of Kansa and Jarasan and other demons. All these demigods came to prison house of Kansa to glorify Lord Hari. Okay. Right. Last verse for today. Kirtan started outside. Oh, this verse is actually very important verse. You know Mangalacharan? The first Mangalacharan of the Bhagvatam is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Satyam Param Dhimai. And Satyam Param Dhimai is absolute truth. And the best literary work has three Mangalacharan. First, middle and last. This verse 10 to 26 is middle Mangalacharan. There is also same word here, Satyam Param. And the last Mangalacharan is in 12th chapter. There is also the word Satyam Param. So this is a Mangalacharan, and here the word Satyam Param means absolute truth. And what is relative truth is demigod. And the other things, and absolute truth is Supreme Lord. So now we are reading this verse, and it's a better verse to memorize. Satyavratam Satyaparam Trei Satyam Satyasya Yonim Nihatam Cha Satyai Satyasya Satyam Riti Satya Netram Satyatmakam Tvam Sharanam Prapanna. Sharanam means taking shelter, and Prapanna means holding the lotus feet. So there are two types of actually surrender. One surrender is holding the lotus feet. That is called Parpana. As Arjuna is saying, Tvam Parpanam. Sadhi Mam Tvam Parpanam. But Krishna says, Mam Ekam Sharanam. So Parpana is the first stage and Sharanam is the second stage, you can say. But there is a difference between the two. Parpana, the example is monkey, baby monkey holding on the mother monkey. That is Parpana. It's only effort of a baby monkey she is holding, not the mother monkey holds, no. So it is the only endeavor of a devotee to reach to the Lord. That is Parpana. And Sharanam is like a mother cat carry the baby kitten. Here the mother is doing everything, kitten is now only enjoying. So that is Sharanam. But here these two words are most important because we need both. We Vaishnava, Gaudiya Vaishnava, like a person falling in a well, he should call, please take me out. But then somebody throw the rope down, then he should hold on the rope and try to come up. So he should be both Parpana and Sharanam. So devotees have used these two words here because Narad is a pure devotee here and the Shankar is a Mahavishnu. They are Param Vaishnu, all they are original of the, they are inaugurated of the Vaishnu Sampradaya, Brahma Sampradaya, then Kumar Sampradaya, and then Rudra Sampradaya. They are all Vaishnu. So they have used very proper, appropriate word. The demigod spirits, O Lord, you never deviate from your vows, Satyavratam, which is always perfect because whatever you decide is perfectly correct and cannot be stopped by anyone, Satya Param. Being present in the three phases of the cosmic manifestation, creation, maintenance and annihilation, Trai Satyam. You are the supreme truth, Satyasya Yonim. All other truth rests upon you. Indeed, unless one is completely truthful, one cannot achieve your favor, which therefore cannot be achieved by hypocrites. Nihatam cha satya. You are the active principle, the real truth, in all the ingredients of the creation, and therefore you are known as Antaryami, the inner force, Satyasya Satyam. You are equal to everyone, and your instruction apply for everyone, for all times, Rit Satya Netram. You are the beginning of all truth, Satya Atmakam. Therefore, offering our obeisance We surrender unto you. Kindly give us protection. Tvam Sharanam Parpanaha. Now, Srila Prabhupada writes, demigods are devotees, know perfectly well that Supreme Personality of Godhead is true substance, whether within this material world or in the spiritual world. Srimad Bhagavatam begins therefore with the word Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Satyam Param Dhimahi. So Vasudeva Krishna is Param Satyam, the Supreme Truth. The Supreme Truth can be approached or understood by the Supreme Method as declared by the Supreme Truth. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tattvata. Bhakti or devotional service is the only way to understand absolute truth. For protection, therefore, the demigods surrender to the Supreme Truth, not to the relative truth. Now, what is relative truth? Prabhupada is giving here, Srila Prabhupada is giving here, difference. The demigods, their worship is relative truth, while the worship of Supreme Lord is absolute truth. So this paragraph is just Bhagavad Gita going to the demigod worship. They are temporary, everything finished, and this is impermanent. But the living entities, they are eternal, Nitya Nityanam. Therefore, every living entity therefore must search for eternal happiness, not temporary. So, relative truth is demigod worship, and worship of the Supreme Lord is absolute truth. The word Satyam Param Dhimahi indicate that one should search for the absolute truth, not the relative truth. While offering prayers to the Supreme Person of Godhead, Narsingadev Prahlad Maharaj said, Balasya Neya Sharanam Pitra. So this is the verse which says, generally it is understood that the protection for childs are his parents, but this is not actually the fact. The real protector is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Taptasya, this is another verse. Same verse continues. If neglected by Supreme Person of Godhead, child, despite the presence of his parents, will suffer. And diseased person, despite all medical help, will die. In this material world, where there is a struggle for existence, men have invented many means for protection, but these are useless if Supreme Person of Godhead reject them. Therefore, the demigod purposefully says, Satyatmikam Tvam Sharanam Prapannaha. Real protection can be obtained from you, O Lord. Therefore, we surrender unto you. So, Prapanna here means protection, and Saranam means we surrender unto you. The Lord demands that. The Lord demands this you surrender in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvabhauma Pariteja. And he further says, this is in Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana, Sakradeva Prapanna. So if one surrender unto me, sincerely, the Lord Ramchandra says, I give him all protection. So demigod offered their prayers to the Supreme Person of Godhead because he had now appeared in the womb of his devotee Devaki to protect all the devotees harassed by Kansa and his lieutenants. Thus the Lord acted as Satyavrta, means his woe is, he said, I will come and you have come. That is, you are Satyavrta. The protection given by Supreme Person of Godhead cannot be compared to the protection given by demigods. It is said that Ravan was a great devotee of Shiva, but when Lord Ramchandra wanted to kill him, Lord Shiva could not give him protection. Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, accompanied by great sages like Narad and followed by many other demigods, had now invisibly appeared in the house of Kansa. They are called Garbha Astuti. They began to pray for the Supreme Person of Godhead in a select prayers, which are very pleasing to the devotees and which award fulfillment of devotional desires. Very important prayers, Garbha Astuti. The first word they spoke claimed that the Lord is true to his woe. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna descends upon this material world just to protect the pious and destroy the impious. And that is his woe. Woe of Krishna is paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya dushkritam. They were very glad that Lord was appearing to fulfill the mission, and they addressed him as Satyam Param, or the supreme absolute truth. Oh, this portion you can read further. Then the something is Trai Satyam. And what this Trai Satyam is? Gyaan Bala Kriya. Gyaan means knowledge, Bala means strength, and Kriya means action. Knowledge, strength, and activity. In every field, if there is not full knowledge, full strength, and full activity, an endeavor is never successful. Therefore, if one wants to success in everything, one must be backed by three principles. In the Vedas, there's a statement, this is the statement, this Vividhai Prasa Shakti Vividhai Suryate. Supreme Personality of Godhead does not need to do anything personally. For such things, his potency is that everything he wants done will be done perfectly well through the control of material nature. Swabhaviki Gyana Bala Kriya Cha. This is a very nice Prabhupada's personal realization I am reading now. The devotees who are fully engaged in spreading the Krishna consciousness movement. More than 10,000 men and women all over the world have no steady and permanent occupation. Yet we actually see that they are maintained very opulently. The Lord says, Bhagavad Gita, Ananyasyanta mam ye jana paripasate, tesham nitya viyuktanam yoga kshemam bhamyam. This statement is very important statement actually. Prabhupada says 10,000 of devotees not working, but Krishna is maintaining them opulently. How? By his Kriya, Bala, Shakti, by his energies. He is maintaining. You can have so many example for that. Krishna protect them. Name bhakta pranashyati. And Madhvacharya has some commentary, and then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Krishna is avatari. Satya Yoni means Krishna is avatari, source of all incarnation. And then Brahma Samhita quoted, from one light, the other light is lighted. I thought I can go more verses, but today our 26th verse is over. Chakravarti Pad has written also something. You, Sri Krishna, are only truth in this world. You are understood by devotees, but not by others. This is the meaning of demigod's praise. You have made a vow to protect your devotees, and that your vow is upheld at all times. Therefore, everyone should take shelter of you. This is the intention of the verse. We take shelter of you whose vows are true. Then this verse quoted from Ramayana, Sakradeva Prapano Yas Tva Smiti Cha Yachate Abhayam Sarvada Tasmai Dadami Etad Vartam Mama. Unlike the temporary result obtained from the demigod, surrender to you is Satya Param. Satya here means existing in all places and time, and Param means the best. We take shelter of you who are the best in all time and space. Satyam can also refer to his name. You are the supreme and called Satya. Satya hai pratishtita Krishna Satyam atra. Pratishitam satyasya satyo hi govinda tasmai satyo hi namanta. Krishna is established in truth, and truth is established in Krishna. Udyam Parva Mahabharata. Govind is more truthful than truth itself. Therefore, he is called Satya. Krishna's intelligence, his strength, and all his transcendental qualities are also truth. The three Shaktis of Krishna, Gyana, Bala, and Kriya, take shelter of you. Therefore, you are called Trai Satyam. So, Trai Satyam has three energies. Trai Satyam has three phases of life: creation, maintenance, and annihilation. So, and Trai Satyam also means past, present, and future. Satyas Yoni means Krishna is answer. The answer of Krishna is also Satya. We take shelter of you, the source of all avatars, such as Matsya, Kurma. That is the meaning of Satya Yoni. Nihatam, entered. Satyas Satyam. You are the essence of cream of all spiritual objects. Satyas Satyam. Or the material world is one Satya, or a real thing, but existing only temporarily. You are the cause of the material world, but you exist in all times eternally. Therefore, you are the Satya of all Satya, the truth of all truth. This is similar to the phrase in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Pranasya pranam utah chakshusya chakshu utah shrutasya shrotraha anyanam manaso he manaho viduhu. The Supreme Truth is understood to be the life air, sustaining everyone's life air, the vision of everyone's eyes, the hearing power of ear, and the sustenance of the food itself. In this commentary on the Vedanta Sutra, Srila Madhvacharya has confirmed that this by quoting following statement from the Vedic Shruti mantra, Satya hi evedam vishwam asarjita. The universe is created by the Lord, is real. So we end here because I think it's a time outside for my class. Tomorrow we'll continue further. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guruji. Hare Krishna.
Anybody has question or comment, keep it in parking. Tomorrow we'll start with that question. Oh. Thank you, I think.
Where are you?
Yes?
Where are you today? Where are you today?
Sorry? Oh, I am in Assam.
Which
Assam.
place?
Jorhat.
In Jorat? Jorat? Oh, I see.
Yeah, Jorhat. They call it Jorhat.
Yes, yes.
This part, this Rath Yatra. I started Rath Yatra in Ujjain and I am doing the Ulta Rath in Jorhat and then going to the Jagannath Puri.
Very nice.
So please pray for me, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari.
Recording.
Oh, late हो गया. चलो जी, ये हुआ तो 1 घंटा 36 मिनट है, ज़्यादा तो नहीं हुआ, क्या बात है.